A lot about second chances. As a 16-year-old, he was caught spray painting the outside walls of Yankee Stadium. True, right? All right, by none other than the owner, Yankee owner George Steinbrenner. Now, instead of turning him in, Steinbrenner turned him around. Today, in addition to his many jobs, he is a mentor to young players, showing them how to stay on track as well as off-field on track. Ray Negron is joining us now. Ray, thank you very much for being here. Good to see you. Here's your book, by the way, The Greatest Story Never Told, which we didn't advertise and we should. It's right here. There we go. The Greatest Story Never Told. Bottom line is, Steinbrenner said, I want you to work for me instead of sending you off to get your hand slapped by the cops, right?
He made me the bat boy.
He made you the bat boy, but he also gave you another job, which was to calm down one of the rowdiest group of players that the Yankees ever had in the 1970s.
Well, you know, the Bronx Zoo Yankees, Sparky, Reggie, Thurman, you know, it was...
And start with the coach himself, the manager himself.
The great Billy Martin.
The great Billy Martin, who must have been fired. I am guessing he was fired at least five times. 5 times. Okay, that was good. Now, for those who don't remember Billy Martin, he was an incredible player. He was there in the late 50s when they were at their best with Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle and the rest of them. But he was always pushing the limit, wasn't he?
Well, you know, Billy was Billy, you know, but he cared about his players. And at the same time, nobody was going to mess with Billy Martin. Okay?
And he was given so many opportunities. I mean, the fact that he was fired 5 times does say something about Mr. Steinbrenner as well as Billy, right?
He knew that Billy was a great manager. I mean, everybody loved sitting around Billy because Billy always knew what he was going to do. He was always 3 to 5 innings ahead.
But did he deserve 4 extra chances?
Yeah, because he was the best.
He was. He
always hoped that, you know, the disease of alcohol addiction was not going to be there at one point or another, and Billy was finally going to be the greatest manager of all time, which he should have been.
And tragically died in a car crash. Now, you had Reggie Jackson, you had Mickey Rivers, you had Lou Piniella, who's now a great manager in his own right. But these guys were very high-strung. How did you calm them down?
Because they were brothers, okay? And like I had crazy brothers. And so, in essence, I dealt with these guys that way. And you know what? The genius in Billy Martin would say, stay close to Reggie. I can't stand the guy, but you know what? I know he loves you. Stay close to him, and in turn, I can control him that way. And you know what? The boss was the same way about Billy. I know Billy loves you.
And you also had an incredible guy in the form of Thurman Munson, who was the catcher, one of the greatest players of all time, who also died tragically young in a plane crash. And he was the guy that kept the knuckleheads together, right? He would knock heads and say, hey, come on, guys, knock it off.
Thurman was a kid. He died. He was 32 years old when he died, but he was our leader. He was strong. He didn't want to be the captain. He just wanted to be one of the regular guys. And you know what? If you called him captain, you better watch out because he might slap you.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
He didn't like the term.
He did not want to be called captain.
But he was a natural leader,
He was just a leader. He was just so strong. And when he played the game, you know, I mean, you knew if we needed the big hit, he was going to hit a line drive to right field.
All right. We talked about Strawberry. We talked about Doc Gooden. You have a very personal experience with Doc Gooden. You were not only with him at the Yankees, but you followed him to Cleveland, right?
Well, I followed Doc to Cleveland. I went over there, in essence, I just had a blowout with the boss, as everybody does.
Who hasn't? Yeah, with Steinbrenner.
And so I went to Cleveland with Doc. And then, you know, it's funny because as soon as I got to Cleveland, I got culture shock. And I called the boss back, and I said, boss, can I come back now? He said, no, stay there a little while longer.
He wanted you to stew a little in your own soup.
Exactly.
But Darryl Strawberry is another guy who's given a lot of chances. Did he deserve all the chances, or did that somehow enable him to do worse stuff?
Let me just say this. Darryl Strawberry deserved every chance that he got. He's a great guy, and look what he's doing today.
He's doing wonderful work today.
And all of that led to this. It all led to this.
With his wife.
If he didn't go through what he did then, you know what? He wouldn't be good for the kids today.
I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, if somebody had really drawn the line at some point and said, look, you have a problem, I'm not going to enable you, I'm not going to give you a penny more until you get rid of your problem, would that have done it?
This is not about enabling. It's about business, okay? The man hit a ball 500 feet, and you know what? He helped the Yankees win 3 World Championships.
Oh, sure he did.
And that was the bottom line. And George Steinbrenner, just like Billy used to say to me, give me 9 Mussolinis. If they can play, I want them on my team. I just ain't going to like them.
But you know what I'm saying. There is a line between, on the one hand, giving a good guy who's got some issues, but underneath you know he's a good guy, you want to give him a chance, giving him a second chance, a third chance, but then you get to the point where they think they can get away with anything.
Well, you know what? Doc and Daryl didn't think they can get away with anything. They had an immense fear and respect of George Steinbrenner. And you know what? When they messed up, the last person they wanted to turn to say, boss, I messed up, was him.
He was tough.
Because
he was the ultimate boss.
He was the ultimate big daddy. Okay? Bottom line.
Is there anybody you've seen who had a second chance who didn't deserve it?
Not under the Steinbrenner regime.
Interesting, interesting. Ray, it's terrific to have you. Come back to
Thank
Scoreboard,
you.
all right? And a book, The Greatest Story Never Told, The Babe and Jackie, about which we got to talk more later.
The greatest children's book of all time, right there.
Terrific. Thank you very much. Great to see you.